Good evening, how's it going? Today is going to be part 12 of my cubist journey. As the 12th part of my cubist journey, I've been doing a lot of cars that I really enjoy, such as the old hot hatches from the 90s. They're my favourite ones today. But today I want to do something a bit more modern, and I found this cool Ford Focus online, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to do the Ford Focus on my usual tan paper with the oil pastels like I did. That seems to be working best for me. Now with this one, what I'm going to try and do is, once I create a reel with it, I'll tag people into it, and this will get it into the public for the first time to see other people's reactions, because the previous ones that I do, no one's going to be searching for cars cubism, so they'll get no public reactions at all. However, I tag people into this one, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how this is. I'm going to use multiple views like I have in the previous ones to try and create a much more realistic perspective of the actual car. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's do a Ford Focus. I'm just going to do another cubist drawing. This one's got to be a Ford Focus. I think it's Ben's Focus Eye. Really cool. So start off with oil pastels on tan A3. Just going to get the basic shapes in from a few of the angles. So to start off with, to give me a guideline, to give me an overall perspective of the car. There's no planning, there's no sketching. What's fun about these cubist drawings that I do is that I can't really predict exactly how they're going to go or how they're going to look. But that's the fun of it. So this is sort of like the front view. I say sort of because it's a bit out of proportion, but I just like emphasising the shapes, the curves, the lines. Then got my photo reference to the right, so I'm just going to swap over photo references from now and then. This might be a bit of the rear view here. I like the shape of that rear light. See what other angles I can add. Maybe let's do one of the exhaust here. It's kind of cool. Then I haven't got too many different photographs, they're kind of the same, but I don't really want to draw the whole car anyway, just certain shapes. Like I like the side skirt that comes across down here. I love the indicator sides. Do the front bit there. I quite like that shape. Ooh, that's in the way. Let's do that again. Got some cool bonnet vents. Okay, I think that'll just about do. There's one more I want to just highlight, and that is the rear view. Okay, so that looks absolutely crazy. What's the fun thing is that when I start doing this, although I know preemptively what which shapes I'm doing, like I know this is the front end, but as I start increasing all the different shadows and stuff like that, they start to really blend together, so you can't really tell what's what anymore, and your brain kind of makes up what it thinks it's seeing, when actually it could be anything. And you could forget about the drawing and come back to it later and see something completely different. So it gives a much more raw view of the vehicle in question, not the actual just finished effect, which is what you see in the photographs, but something before you actually see the effects. a much more raw perspective of what the car really is. And using the ingredients of all the different views that I've included, gets a more intricate picture of that. I think that's the theory behind it anyway. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the dark edges first, and I might actually go into some of the lights as well. It can get kind of confusing and a bit tricky, so, and I will start adding a little bit of colour with the oil pastels here. So this is quite a natural colour for it. So maybe for this I'll add the blue to it. Like so. Maybe the white. What I noticed with the Picasso and Brock paintings of the day and stuff like that, they tried to do like a back and forth between the lights and the darks to to completely destroy the actual sense of horizon line or a sense of depth and stuff like that. You can't pinpoint on one thing. So to emphasise that on the vehicle paintings and drawings that I'm doing, so this is light here, now a bit dark. So where it's dark up here, I'll have a light, like so. Continue the light there. But where the light source is coming from this direction, I'll change at this edge. So it's coming from this direction, and when I come to here, because it's coming from this edge, change it here. When I really start getting to focus of this, I start imagining all these different geometric shapes as sort of like mountains and pits. So I can imagine if there's a pit here and the light's coming from underneath, making the top bit darker. So the light's coming from underneath there. So I would want it, so it's coming from underneath, maybe the top down for here. So the light's shining above, like so. Then from this one I'm going to copy this and have the light shining from underneath. And sometimes it doesn't quite work and I might have to go over it to the way. And I might actually add new lines into it. So it really morphs and changes, and a lot of times I struggle to do these in one sessions because I don't know, it kind of fatigues my mind a bit when I'm trying to focus this much on it. When I'm doing the realistic pictures, it's kind of, you know, very, very straightforward. What's the horizon line? What's the perspective? What's the desired effect and stuff? But with these, I can't visually imagine it. It's beyond my imagination capacity. I have an idea of it, but because it's never been seen before and there's no reference photos to it, when have you seen the blue ST Ford Focus in a cubist style? There's just like, there's nothing I can go by, so it mentally drains me. So I'll do this in multiple sessions, working maybe like an hour here, maybe a bit off camera when I've got a bit of time to myself inside the house, you know. There is a bit of yellow on the car, so I might use that yellow as well. So the light's coming from this direction, so let's have it going from this way. I have this yellow as well, the light coming from this way. And I might use a yellow for the background as well, so the yellow it's not just pinpointed on one area, which is, this is like the license plate at the back, the number plate at the back. So it's not just pinpointed on that one yellow, but if I use the yellows in multiple areas of the whole picture, it won't let your eyes just focus on the one yellow. So it's a very flat kind of colour that I'm doing. This is just my natural observations of as a professional artist. So I might be wrong. People might have different opinions. I don't know. Just one artist observing what's going on with the picture. And once I start getting a bit more with the effect with these shapes and stuff, what I'll do is I've got some oil here, and I've got a paintbrush set on the side for it, which is a very it's a very bad quality brush, but it has a very thick broad edge, and I'll just use it to blend the blacks in, create much more of a smoother effect, and also kind of gives a kind of grungy kind of tone. I'll just do that. Because the light's coming from the bottom here, I don't want to oil that up because it will darken it, but I'll just do the top bit there. Like so. And then I'll do the opposite here. This one's sort of got like the light coming from the centre a bit, so that's my plan for the whole picture. But I'll just go through it, like I'll do one area at a time. Maybe I'll do a bit here, maybe I'll do a bit there and stuff like that. See what works, see what doesn't work, see what needs changing. Because sometimes, even no matter how hard you're trying to follow these kind of preset rules to have a much more raw effect, you can't really, it's not a straight path, if that makes sense. So I might need to change a few things. So I might think this works, but no, the eye's going this here. So there's a lot of push and pull, adding whites here, adding darks there. So it's like a little journey you go on, kind of discovery. What is the little journey of discovering the cubist style of a forward focus? Oh, what's my life turned into? Anyway, I'll go into time lapse for this bit. So it's been about 20 minutes. That's pretty much all I've got time for tonight. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool so far. I found much more better blue true to colour here, ultramarine blue. So some bits here I might go over that instead. I want to keep the light sky blues to other areas. So it's really interesting, this bit here. I really like this. I'm not sure what it was. I think I was just copying the lines of the windscreen and the bonnet, that kind of motion. That's really cool. I'm trying to get more dynamic with the geometric shapes, so like I try and imagine this is like a doorway coming in that way, and then try and round off some areas. So rounding up here and cutting off this one at an angle. So this looks like a pyramid here. So this is going to be like a pit, I think. So yeah, it's looking really cool. And I try and turn it often because I do see different things when I turn it around, and there's not much difference in the effect it actually has because there's no depth perception, there's no horizon line to go by. So if you turn it either way, it just looks the same, flat. But yeah, it's looking really cool. Looking forward to seeing what the next bit looks like. So this is what I have so far. As you can see, I've isolated a lot of these geometric shapes, and it's looking rather cool. So this was a little bit of the front view. Remember, this was the tail light, rear view there. I've used a lot of linseed oil on top of this, and it's in pools at the moment all over the picture, so it's very, very wet. But I'm just using a little bit of paint here just to pull out some of these highlights on these shapes. And I'll add any additional colour after that. But yeah, it looks really cool. I think I've got this area very well down with the headlight here. This isn't actually on the car, but it's a fragment of the yellow, just to kind of break up that yellow on that side, just create a bit more of a balance. I learned that from all my previous paintings. This is kind of cool. I've got the highlight on this edge going into dark, and then highlight on this edge, highlight up there, so maybe there's a highlight on this edge. And the whole idea is to create like a balance throughout the whole picture, so it looks a lot more flatter, because the shading's the same throughout the whole thing. There's no perspective line or anything. But yeah, see how it looks like after some more highlights. Okay, so I think I'll leave it there. Yeah, the gouache highlights really came up through. I love this bit here, really nice contrast. But yeah, I've went over the black lines as well a bit and added a bit more colour. But it looks really, really cool, really interesting. Really like how this one turned out. Interesting forward focus, cubism style. I think this was a wheel up here that looks rather interesting. I'm trying to look at some certain bits. These were like exaggerated shapes throughout the vehicle. I know that's obviously the front view there. This was a little bit of the front view, a little headlight maybe. There's a little bit of the grille, the rear. But yeah, looks really cool. Thanks for watching, guys.